EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. Tonight we kick off Week 7 with a great Thursday night matchup here between the New Orleans Saints and the Arizona Cardinals. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Ready. They begin on the ground with Kbinge. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well. And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football. He rifles one that's intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it off. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against an interception on their initial drive of the ball game. Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it? One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal first down. Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The Cardinals hit 1-5, really struggling here to start the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row. And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4. Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him. To throw, it's Murray. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down. Prater's kick is good, and the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal. And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play. Off the play fake, Winston. And going deep for Hill. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either. Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
On 2nd and 10, Murray. This one swung out here to Jones. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. A Cardinal first down on a gain of 13.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
And there's the beauty of Kyler Murray because we all know he can get it done through the air. Terrific right arm, and nowadays we don't even talk about his height anymore. He's shown that he can see downfield and make throws, but he also possesses wide receiver speed. He can call his own number or scramble and turn it into a big play as well. Kyler Murray, a dual threat at the quarterback position.
His first catch, good for 16 and a first. To throw is Murray. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Julio Jones. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals are in for 6. Extra point good by Clayton. And the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And this will wind up a Saints first down as the tackle made it about the 43-yard line. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Here's a give up the middle. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier. They run it again with Kamara.
And he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2. Well, speed is definitely a calling card if you play quarterback in this league, and he does a terrific job there of hustling in quickly to make the play. On third down, Winston. There's Chris Olave. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on third down, and they keep the drive going.
Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. It's Zaven Collins who got in there to get the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Jameis to throw it. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
On third down, here's Kamara. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Winston to give. It's Kamara. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 44 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. On play action, Winston. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown.
What you just saw there, first-round talent, second year, even more success. A pick 6 for a touchdown.
A great play. And it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust to the secondary as a first-year guy. So that sophomore season is big for them.
They really start to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year 1. By year 2, they should have all the nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Winston. This one taken in by Olave. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A Saints first down there on a gain of 11. Kamara up the middle. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Ready? Winston. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now Winston. Right side, Thornton with it. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've got their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara as the first half is winding down. And the Saints are on the board here in the final seconds of the first half. Lutt's good on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And with a 17-7 lead, maybe they're just looking to get into the locker room. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more.
So first thing that crosses my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
A run for Kbinge on first down, but the running room closes up quickly as he's only able to get a yard there. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Kbinge. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. Fields it right around the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. The second half starts with a carry by Jones. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
From the 24, Murray. Trying to get it to Anderson, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind. And we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Could you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
From the 22, Winston. Out left and complete to Thornton. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down. The busy night continues for Kamara. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 91 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ballgame.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Some good strong running right there, some power and some explosiveness, just about got him into the end zone.
Kamara is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
Again, Kamara. But he will go backwards as he stopped for a loss. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up. The loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder. And they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
Now let's see where they turn on 3rd and goal from the... And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Saints take advantage of the short field and finish it off with a quick touchdown. Lutz with the extra point, and that will level the playing field at 17 all. So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. Taking it about the 1. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. The interception on the last drive proved costly, led to the tying score, so 17 all as they come up on a first down. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And this is going to be a Cardinals first down as the tackle made here at the 36.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? About his ability to break tackles, and his feet never stop moving.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll go again to Jones. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 47 yards rushing for him now to this point. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he stopped immediately there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
3rd and 2, and here's Murray. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
Ready?
One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
The Saints on third down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. This is 3rd and 11. To throw, Winston. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Now Brown. Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with the coverage holding him to 3 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this. And this is going to be intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And the Saints are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the 4th quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Mills used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
Jeremy Chin there defensively.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. Here's Winston. Looking here for Smith downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays, make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient as well.
Especially the quarterback.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. He got 29 yards that time. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory? Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
2nd down, another shot for Jones.
And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints' 23. 55 rushing yards on the ground for him so far.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They'll try and run for it with Jones. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. And the 38-year-old vet able to split the uprights, and they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they managed the clock exactly right.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And they will get the conversion on 3rd down, but the clock, a more pressing factor. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Winston. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This offense has had its troubles moving the ball all night. So now you get in this situation, hard to imagine that suddenly they're going to start clicking and moving the ball downfield.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Winston to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. 1st down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run. Down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
Now Winston. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Here's Winston. the middle complete. That's Hill. And now the timeout call. So 5 seconds left, and a field goal would send us to overtime. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And that is no good. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3. Pressure kick, and I thought he was going to hit it. I thought we were destined for overtime, but not the case.
Not at all, and they were already planning for the overtime you just mentioned, already saying, okay, what are we going to do if we get the ball? What happens on defense? Instead of that celebration and that little bit of euphoria, it turned into letdown city.
Down to a knee goes Murray, as that will just about wrap this thing up. So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals. And a little bit of a surprise, they lose the turnover battle, but wind up winning the ballgame.
And this is very unusual because you know all teams stress winning the turnover battle as a key indicator to winning ball games. So when you get something that goes against the grain like the one we saw here, it's quite the oddity. Now let's face it, they'll be very happy that they pulled this off. But they do know that in the future, they've got work on taking care of the football because this